Hello, everyone. I think it's this camera.
Yeah.
This is welcome back to the Chance Diaries. This is season 2, episode 2. I'm Aaron McCarthy.
I'm Dave Savage.
And we're joined by the wonderful Kev O'Connell.
With camera, I don't know.
Look at all of them.
Just look at all of them. You get one of them.
Like, you're my favorite type of comedian.
Really?
And what I mean by that is, you like if you look like if you told someone that you have senior final medals, they'd believe you. Do you know what I mean?
Do you mean if I said I played Ga,
Yeah.
that they'd believe me?
Yeah, like you're not going into the gigs wearing like a top hat and all this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Who's doing that?
no, like it's a metaphorical top hat. You know.
Right.
Like there's some gang you're seeing and it's like, lads, did you try any other hobby for the love of God? Like, you know? Whereas you don't need to be doing this, but there's obviously something in you that makes it so you have to.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. Yeah,
and
what
I
the
think
fuck up is.
it's harder for the lads like that, because I think, like, I don't know what you're like in school, but I think I grew into my face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. Like, do you think you've hit this is your peak face? Like the next
No,
kind of...
I think I'm on the way back down.
Back down.
My peak face was 21, 22.
Was your best?
That was when I was at my best by.
Is that when you started growing the beard regularly? I'm not being sarcastic.
No. I had the
I
beard.
think beards change for lots of guys. Is like
No, I had the beard since I was about 17. But that was when I was on the fucking steroids. What was your kind of fucking get up when you were, say, like 19? Because you'd have laid waste to the women in Middleton, like, if you were there. Do you know, that's what I'm thinking now. Like,
very non-threatening look.
Like, no. Like, if you were there, you'd be like, you'd have cleaned up. Like, that's what I'm on about. Do you know what I mean?
Because you kind of have. You also.
I didn't know one bring me to Middleton.
That's my only frame of reference to this. I hold all the standard of.
Here, Middleton was hopping, man. But anyway,
it was.
There was. But you also kind of have that mid 2000s punk vibe as well.
Yeah. That was the big.
Like you looked like you could have been in.
That was my that was my hunting ground.
You look like if we were at a random. If I'd never met you, if I'd never met you and we were at a random party and you said I was the bass player in the fray, I would have believed you. Like,
yeah,
you know, that kind of way.
Like, to be fair, that was a contrived. Like, that was a like.
Yeah.
Something needs to give here, lads, because everything else hadn't worked up.
Yeah.
But I feel if you're skinny in Ireland and not good at sports, you need to get into music.
Yeah, you do.
It's the only outlet, isn't it?
I tried that, and do you know what, boy?
And I was terrible. I play guitar for 7 years. I cannot hold a tune. Like, there's something wrong with me. But if you kind of look like you're into music, that's enough.
Yeah, if you go to gigs a lot, you come across as a
like
music
my thing was like I read books. Like I started doing jokes about this. Like I remember like talking about Oscar Wilde, and I was like, this is yielding good results for the firm.
Yeah, because I don't know. I think maybe what was when I started trying to do music. I believed like that a musician would be pulling way more.
Yeah.
So I went out trying to do that, and then it turns out no, musicians do pull. It's just I think women like good-looking fellas who knock out tunes.
Yeah. There is a key, like a fella that can just knock out a tune at a house party. Yeah. That's like a 7 out of 10. Will get more women.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because he's got something to him. Like,
yeah.
And I suppose, like, look, there's no point. Like, when I was working in the music shop, I remember there'd be young fellas coming in and they'd be bringing whatever fucking woman they're dragging around at the time. These like 16-year-olds now, like, and one fucker in particular, he brought one in. I suppose they were probably only shifting, you know. He's like, probably thought to go in and show off all the guitar and stuff. Your man sits down, plugs in, and starts playing Raining Blood by Slayer.
Nice.
And one's just there. I was like, man, what? You're fucking this by.
But I know what that young fella was thinking. Like, because I remember like definitely texting girls who were like, oh yeah, man. Like, like it wasn't even like Blink-182. It was like the most obscure. Have you heard of No Effects? Like,
yeah. Do you like a fella who can sweep pick, man?
Yeah. You can sweep pick nothing. Yeah. Nothing going on.
I used to write songs when I was younger, like when I was like 16, and like They
a
were
dangerous,
so
a slippery
Yeah,
slope,
yeah,
isn't it?
They're
Like,
just such shite. Like I actually found them recently on like an iPad or something there, or looking back at a old computer, and the fucking lyrics, man, are just unbelievable. Because I was after getting broken up with at the time,
yeah.
and I was just calling this one a heartless bitch and everything, and just thinking
The-
like
the- the-
this will be
well,
lethal. Like, you know?
That emo was incels with poetry.
It was
That,
incels, yeah, it was
like,
such
like,
incels.
like I would say, like, because I watched that Adolescence and the whole incel thing is really
Yeah,
big
yeah,
now,
yeah.
and I was just like, my emo phase was pretty incel. Like,
yeah.
But it was
is.
more that you weren't really a danger. You were more just you were such a victim. You
Yeah,
were
yeah,
really-
yeah.
I think incel these days is like you should probably hit women because they don't want to fuck you. Whereas like years ago it was like no woman will ever love me. I'm gonna cut myself. You know that kind of way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was different. I remember that like thinking like no woman will ever love me. So I'm just useless. And I won't even.
no, I
bother
knew
with
they'd
you,
love
you know?
me eventually, though. Kind of just looked
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I knew the vision. I knew
Yeah.
I wasn't what they were looking for. Do you
Yeah.
know, I think I hit about the age of like 16, and I saw all the boys who were like playing GA and all the fucking boys, and they were all drinking in fields,
Yeah.
and they were having a fucking ball all the time, and I was there with these fucking 6 losers.
Did you go through like a heavy emo
Yeah.
phase? Yeah.
I had big long hair, big spiky hair, like the singer from Papa Roach. And it was a disaster, man. And of course, nobody wanted anything to me. Why would you? Like, and then
Yeah.
I saw all the boys, and I was like, I definitely made like a conscious decision, nah. And then I just started dressing like an absolute fly boy, like a complete course track. There wasn't an ease, and the hair got cut. I started wearing chinos.
Oh, you flipped like
Yeah.
flipped sides. Yeah.
And
yeah. Like, because the funny thing was, like, I used to play hurling. Now, I was in Roscommon, Westmeath, which isn't like known for hurling, but I
yeah.
still played. But I used to wear like a corn hoodie or like a metallic t-shirt,
Yeah.
and they're like, "What's this guy's deal? Like, pick a fucking lane.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like,
You
like-
can't place him, like.
Yeah. What is this enigma, man?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I remember like when
What are you,
like
an emo?
going to university and like a few lads trying to like make themselves more kind of in the fight. Like the guys that had stopped playing
Yeah,
football
yeah,
like
yeah.
15, 16, they're like, "Do you know we're class, man? Muse.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
a bit of Muse, man." It's just like
Matt Bellany's riding fucking Kate Hudson, man.
personally, I think that's class for the
Yeah.
hedgehog looking fucker.
Yeah.
Because Linkin Park as well were one of those ones that like became really uncool.
Jay-Z's
Yeah.
in with the boys. He
Yeah.
said they're all right.
Jay-Z was on to me there last night. He was
Yeah.
saying Linkin Park.
Leave
are
the
all
boys
right.
alone. They're all
Yeah.
right.
Have you
They're
ever
with him.
seen the documentary of them making Collision Course?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking cool
I've
stuff,
never
man.
seen like Linkin Park were very white. Like they're like, "Oh my god, Jay-Z, lovely to meet you." And it's just like he's like,
Yeah.
like,
I
what's
know,
your
yeah.
story, guys?
Yeah.
What's like,
I was selling fucking crack before I got here.
like I've actually had a hard life.
Yeah, like, you know, I went on, like, he found it hard, like, you know, like, oh, I was crippled with depression. Like, Jay-Z was fucking having to probably carry around a fucking gun.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah. From probably have to watch the cops every 2 minutes because he got his.
They had to
fucking
keep a
ankles
gun
cracked.
off Chester.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, a friend of mine, like, he cleaned up his act, and then he became a hardstyle DJ out of nowhere. Like,
Okay. yeah.
out of nowhere, like he was just like went to like lived with him for a while, and then like didn't hear from him. He's like cleaned up, got like a fiance, and he's like he's from a hardstyle DJ, and like once every 6 months just leaves a track that goes. Delight of you, lad. Like you found your
I
passion.
know, but it's just that. It's just the song's called Agency by.
With some Dutch fella called
Yeah.
DJ Van Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I love it. Like what I find amazing is that subculture. Like you still like the tracksuit is
They're a
still
disgrace,
enduring,
man. Yeah.
and there are still people that love that music.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it like it's the one subculture I have no idea about.
Is it just because you have to be on Yokes listening to it and anything sounds amazing on Yokes?
I don't know if it's that, but like there is just like it's been there since the 90s, and it's the
Yeah.
same kind of people like it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, scumbags.
Yeah.
There is like
You know who it
like,
is?
Call a spade,
yeah,
lads.
yeah. But like there was kind of all these really cool. Like I feel the UK had really cool ones, and I'm not sure what the equivalent was like in Ireland.
I don't know, but like all I know is if you get someone who you go to Sir Henry's, if you happen to let them talk about Sir Henry's,
Yeah.
it's like they were pulled from Valhalla by, and they're not allowed back in.
I went to a fucking N-Dubs concert.
There's a throwback.
2 years ago, and I've never felt more scared in my life. Like that sniffer dog anyway needs to get his P45. Like, it's doing nothing for the place. The place reeked of joints. Everyone was coked up. like a fight happened 2 minutes in. Dappy started a fight with some of the crowd.
Yeah.
And then they played the one song everyone knows, number one, at the very end.
Yeah, typical. Yeah, Dappy by the 8th Dwarf.
Oh. Fierce Air Menace around town when it gets this time of year now.
There is, but
Do you remember when the knife got pulled on us?
That was something.
Yeah.
And we all behaved like big strong men.
Well, do you know what? I will say Aaron McCarthy now impressed me that day. Because I remember, because he came over to me, saw the weak link in the group.
But like you were what's it? First responder.
First responder.
Yeah.
I got the triage.
Yeah.
So he pulled out the knife, and I kind of hopped back. And I went, "He's a knife," and he went, "Oh, he does, yeah." And I was like, cool as a fucking cucumber. Now, I think you were going through a tough time as well.
Yeah.
You were just dead behind eyes.
I was just added to the pile of stress by.
Yeah. Well, of course, another fucking thing.
Yeah. Desperate if he stabbed me.
You'll be doing me a favour, buddy.
Go on, do it. You were like, the guy at the end of a movie. Do it. Shoot me.
You'll be doing me a favour, buddy.
Yeah. You, to be fair, were kind of like, you were like, we probably need to, alert the grown up.
Yeah, essentially.
Because we were all fucking useless. He was kind of like a scumbag wasp, kind of flying around the place.
That was quite scary though, because he had just a smile on his face while he was looking at us with the knife. And I
don't know what could you call it, a smile when there was only 4 teeth in the mouth.
Yeah, true.
Because he was basically a kid, and then having the 4 teeth left. For the smile anyway, and the reaction he got from us jumping was like. There was that was salving some
and I won't fault him in that point, because we wouldn't be doing stand up if we didn't have the same buzz. It's just he's just going
a freak because he likes making people laugh.
Let's not he's just going about it all wrong,
But
you know what I noticed about him, like looking back at him, like he had the 4 teeth he had were the 2 like canines and the 2 bottom canines. They're a disaster if you're going to pick the only 4 to have. They'll be hitting off each other, like, do you know what I mean?
If you had to pick which teeth you can
It's like it was the smile as well. It kind of accentuated this part of the mouth. So he looked like a Pokemon. Do you know that?
At first I thought he was just a very enthusiastic knife salesman. Do you know? Look at this one, it's great.
No, but I thought he was looking like he was asking about the gig, because it was outside the front of the rounding, and I was like, oh, finally a customer.
It was a good analogy, because actually this flyer will cut the price in half.
Love what you're doing there. Regular John Draper, this guy. Cork was kind of a surprising one, because I always found Cork really chill, and it was relegated to certain areas. The bus station. It was kind of like okay, just avoid those areas. But
I think the bus station is, the way technically an embassy is legally the country's soil. I think the bus station is technically Holly Hill.
Why isn't there so many boarded up windows here?
Oh, no. I know Holly Hill's alright.
Holly Hill's
they respawn,
yeah. Holly Hill's so funny because it's literally you have Apple there, right? Which is the biggest tech. It's a European headquarters for the biggest tech company in the world, and then the rest of it is just piebald ponies and fucking boarded up houses. It's insane.
Do you know, actually,
I only know Holly Hill is this kind of myth, it's become such a thing, it's ubiquitous. That you saying the bus station bit there. I was like, oh, that works perfectly. Holly Hill is just one of those things that's thrown on.
It's a mix of trendsetters and vagabonds on both ends of the spectrum. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, the bus station's so romantic. That way.
So I was inside a bar the other night. Is it bad to give the name of a bar?
Nah.
It used to be a cinema anyway, but I was inside there, and
he broke into the Savoy.
But there was a fella there, and he was lined up waiting for the cubicle, obviously, to take it. Not whatever, I was just pissing away at the urinal. And next thing, he just literally, I'm not joking, just went, fuck this, and just went opposite.
it's that blatantness now that's happening though. Like it's just like
fuck this.
Yeah.
like this is the last days of Rome kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've had it so good for so long. Like we've had fucking avocados, cocaine. Like the world is ending. Like, this is the roaring 20s for us.
Yeah,
the Great Depression's coming.
Yeah.
Like having like lads doing that kind of mad shit.
And no consequences.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, like genuinely, like there'll be pubs that if you got caught taking coke, like that fella now he got caught taking coke. The bone's struggling to get the fuck out. He's not barred.
No, he's not barred.
He just has to leave for the remainder of the evening.
Yeah. It's not even a red card.
Yeah.
Sin bin.
You know, when you start drinking and you can't hack it, but you're trying to drink as much as like older lads to try and show off.
Man.
So I was I was with a girl at the time, and God love her, like the stuff I was putting her through at the time was unbelievable. Because like I was getting in some state. And I remember I went to her cousin's communion, right? We had a house.
Lads, this is a red flag. What age are you in?
I was about 18, I'd say, just
you were
about.
18,
I was
on the taste of the confirmation.
Yeah, the communion, Kev, it's better.
Oh, what a recipe for fucking disaster.
So I was at this communion anyway, right? Out to the house after the communion, right? And
how long were we going out, if you know what I mean?
Oh, we were going out about 2 years at this stage.
Okay, so you're like the family kind of knew you a bit.
Yeah, they knew me fairly well at this stage, and this was kind of when the cracks were starting to show a good bit in the relationship, right? So I was there anyway, but her uncles were all big lads that were trying to like, oh yeah, come on, drink with the boys, like, and they kept handing me bottles, you know.
They knew what they were at. Like that, you are a little play toy for them now.
Yeah,
some sick uncle at a communion has nothing else to do.
So I was getting
a search history now that would put the fucking Pope to shame. Oh yeah. A real Sabrina Carpenter age job.
Yeah. Exactly, right.
Okay,
and one of like the uncles by marriage was one that was always looking at her being like, "Jeez, you're filling out nicely into your clothes, aren't you?" You know, these kind of fella, like good comments like that, right? So that's grand, that's grand.
Yeah, comments like that, you know, general pedophilia.
Just general.
Do you know those playful comments where it was actually, I think, you know, with hindsight, he could be actually
a predator of some kind.
Anyway.
And
hope she's doing okay.
This is all going on in this house, right? Whatever.
They're divorced now, and he's actually divorced from society as well.
And
he's
that's
locked
the way
up.
it should be.
Yeah, he's doing hard time, but that was, you know, so I was absolutely polluted drunk now, like in an awful state, in a heap, like, right? And there's just getting like absolute, you know, getting real emotional mess as well, like start bawling, crying in front of everyone as well.
That's
like,
the worst as well. When you start drinking, I couldn't handle my emotions for the first 4 years.
And then, like, you know, she was kind of like, look, I think we should go or whatever. I'll text my mum to come pick us up or something. I was like, no, we'll stay. It's grand. They love it. And then I started singing Grace by the Wolf Tones. No, unwarranted. No. Do you know, they're all sitting down having like pizza, just sitting there like
unwarranted.
This now
just in the corner sitting.
This now is about 7 p.m, right? This isn't like late at night.
Just slow down a minute. Slow down. So leading up to Grace, so you were emotional.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, I'm gonna have a sing song. Were you in and out of the room?
No, I was sitting down in the kitchen and
and they were all kind of sitting at the table.
Yeah, we're all sitting down, you know, having glasses of wine, having whatever, beer or whatever. And then next thing, they're just chatting away, you know, kind of crack, whatever. And people, I was just like, we have a sing song, lads. And people were kind of like, no, it's 7 in the evening. Like, some people have just arrived in, like.
Yeah.
There's something like getting like a fucking casserole there. On a fucking paper plate. Yeah.
And so I was doing that thing.
Who's your man? Like, who's the 18-year-old that's crying?
And I was just like, it's just so lovely to be here, and you're all so welcoming, and you're so lovely, and I just love it here. And then I was just like, and you know, I say you'd all be good singers, wouldn't you? And I just, you know, doing this thing where I was like hitting people like, you'll be a good singer now. Come on, give us a song. And your man's just like, no, I'm grand vibes, you know. I'm pretty sure the Premier League was still on. It was that early, like, and you know, like that.
They're trying to like, we're trying to watch the match there, lad. You relax a bit.
So I actually have an accumulator on this.
Yeah. So that's great. He goes, I'll give you a song, so lads. And they were like, oh, go on, so. And I was like, as we gather in, and just belted out Grace. And that made me cry more. I was like, and it's so sad that they couldn't be together, and the British bastards killed them like that.
Yeah.
So that was grand anyway, making an awful
state. If I remember that much, I'd kill myself.
I know.
Yeah.
Awful.
I couldn't bury that shit.
Awful stage myself, right? That's grand anyway. It had to fucking, that's kind of how she was like mortified, obviously.
Yeah.
And that was grand anyway. And she was chatting to me, she's like, I'm fucking mortified. And I was like, how was you just don't get me? Like, and all this kind of stuff. That was grand. And the next thing I was like, I'm getting the gawks. Went into the jacks, right? I mean, no, painted the fucking room.
communion.
Destroyed the Jacks with sick, right?
Do you know what I'm like thinking? I am genuinely thinking like the Rolodex of like bad drunk nights, but communion, where you're essentially a stranger, is the worst setting. Do you know, like they say, like if you're going to do mushrooms or acid, set and setting, hammered at 18.
Like this is a point where I hadn't been drinking heavily at all at this stage, and this was one of my first nights drinking very heavily. I got out of the Jacks anyway, and she's like, "Oh my god, did you get sick?" I was just like, "I was sick." Uncle walks into the Jacks, right? Looks at the state of the place. He just goes, for fuck's sake, did you even aim for the ball? Just shout it out.
And like, let me ask you this now: did you go to the communion mass?
Yeah.
So did you go up and get communion?
Yeah. Probably.
So,
I don't know. I can't remember.
If you took the body of Christ there now, it was like Satan made you get it out of you. It's like, get that wafer bread out of you. That is no place in you.
That is
and get away from this communion. He was trying to get God was trying to move you out of the communion.
Jesus himself said, "This man does not represent me."
Did it stop you drinking for a while or anything?
God, no. I was fresh in. You see, my thing was, even I wasn't good because I had a lot of people around me that were like, but sure, like, you're a young fella now. Like, even they were sound about it after. They were like, but sure, like, you're a young fella. We shouldn't have been forcing the drink down you, I suppose. Which, to be fair, I suppose from I was too young to be drinking the amount I was drinking. Like, I was fucking. They were pure being like, keep up with us for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? I'm just there then like panned out.
I think that's a good rule, is not to drink heavily around families. And in-laws. Like, I think that's like just for your own health and safety.
I think nearly just ever, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you know what? But like, I just like anything like that gets out of hand. Like weddings get out of hand. Like I've never heard of communion going that.
That's like, a disaster.
Like what's really funny is they probably go to that girl every so often. Like, whatever happened to your man Dave? Like that was belted out great.
I actually met her uncle. I was hosting fucking Carrie Grox, doing the MC job for that music thing for charity in Carrigtwood. And he was anonymous.
Raising money to move a priest.
I do remember though, there was a time where like I would consistently get like emotional on nights out. And like it was like to the point, it was only when I saw someone else do it, I was like, ugh. Like, it's horrible. Is
that what I've been doing? But like the drink when you're a young fella it's a different beast. Like, I remember the first time I had a nagging, and like I remember looking in like the window through, like it was nighttime, so I could see my reflection in the window. Do you know what I mean?
Real Danny Boyle job. Yeah.
I remember looking at myself and the feeling I had from that like 200 mils of vodka and being like, this is how I'm supposed to feel all the time. Like, I was like, how do I maintain this? Like, it was genuinely felt like when Neo gets shot at the end of the Matrix and he stands back up and he just starts realizing everything. He puts that, he's stopping the bullets. He's just boom, boom. I was like, I cracked the code. Like,
what I find funny as well is that you primarily drank cider.
Exclusively,
That is like, did you not just have the worst heartburn all the time?
I haven't had since the 4th of December 2023. I haven't had heartburn once. The Rennie company, like, they're looking at their quarterly things and going, I don't know what the fuck's after happening. We were flying it.
Because that's the thing, like, I do actually...
What's happening in Cork and Middleton specifically? There's a big...
I actually love cider. Like, I love a cider, and I think it's a lovely drink to have.
I love, like, one cider.
If I have more than, like, 3 of those, like, my heart... I'm not joking. I'm genuinely, like, I'm going to go... I feel it just coming up.
Because I've known you always sober. And when you told me, like, it was...
We had one night.
Yeah.
You would have got the last one, yeah.
That was quite funny, actually. Just because I remember you were saying afterwards, I don't know if you don't mind saying this.
No, better.
I think you said, like, you'd been a dick to, like, everyone at the party we were at. And I remember you and me were just ripping, we don't really rip the piss out of each other that often.
Yeah.
But we were ripping into each other. I left thinking, Jesus, this lad, he's some fucking crack. Like, and all the boys love him. Like you're after tearing lumps, like verbal abuse. Yeah. It's like, he's a sound cunt. And then, like, met you, like, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. It was like after Christmas, like January, and you, like, it's like, oh, do you want a pint or whatever? And you're like, oh, I'm off. And I was like, try January. Like, no, off it. And I was like, oh, you're genuine. I kind of never had a worry. Would you go back to it? Like,
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
tell you were off it. And I was like, oh, what triggered? He said, oh, that night we're at Jack's house. And I was like, that night? I thought you were fucking sound.
Yeah.
He was just
No, like the night itself wasn't the issue. It was the fact. It was the next day. So that would have been the 3rd of December. So just because I started the next day, I said, look, there's no point. I haven't picked up a drink today, but I'm still flaming.
Yeah.
So I can't start now, technically.
You're coming in hot, yeah.
And I went into fucking Mayfield. I as good as a spiritual awakening, I think, because I had to go to I might have you beat actually with your communion story, because I had to go into a christening into the church.
I see your communion and face you a Christmas.
Yeah, steaming, like walking into Mayfield Church, and like just seeing the fucking cousin and the aunt going, what the fuck? And they thought I was sober, like they thought I had been off to drink about 3 years, like, and I was back on it a good year and a half.
Oh, so then this is a relapse.
Yeah. To them, like, oh well, I mean, it was long. Ah, Christ, I was drinking heavily for about a year and a half. I think I couldn't call it a relapse really anymore. I'm relapsing for 2 years straight.
Like, how long can you free fall for?
Yeah. I've had an awful slip up altogether.
Everyone has a different perception of rock bottom, you know. It's
Yeah.
That's it. At least you didn't paint the Jackson sign in the church. That would have raised me a lot.
Yeah.
Just into the fucking baptism thing.
But as well, because you were in Cork and Middleton, you see, like, they constantly saw it. Like, have you family around?
Yeah.
So, like, that's just, Just,
Oh, they were like, I mean, sure, Christ almighty, like the mother, like it was at a point, like where she saw the phone ringing, and it was my name. She's thinking, what the fuck is he after doing now? Like,
that's a nightmare, lad.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. But like the parents were over living abroad, like, so like, and it's one thing, like, no, you shouldn't be driving the fucking mother demented as well, like, but it happens, like, it does. There's no mother gets away unscathed of a son. Do you know what I mean? But like,
that's an excuse. Look, what mother's happy?
Yeah. It's gonna happen. Like
you held it. You hid it well. I felt.
Yeah.
The last time
I was a professional. Like
no, because like I remember when I went over to Edinburgh to you.
Yeah.
And I remember you said you were back on the booze, and I was kind of like, oh shit. But I saw you drinking, and I thought he's actually managing it well. He's not in a state, or he's not acting the bollocks or anything.
This is
absolute
what
A game.
So I genuinely thought, oh, maybe he actually is in a place in his life where he can have a few drinks and be responsible. But
this is the problem that I have with a lot of the boys who we know, and they're drinking the shit out of it.
Yeah,
they're doing it all wrong. It's very visible that there's something wrong.
There's no finesse.
You need to be like a real pro is planting fucking cans around the place. Do you know what I mean? You know, you got to have it hidden away, or like, you know, somewhere you can sneak away in, or like, you know, I'm baiting out to work or whatever it is. And then I'm drinking fucking White Claws in there, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you had it together, it's so much.
I had a bit of an old John Mulaney going, you know,
you're
like,
that's it. And you know what? Kind of love that kind of 1950s style alcoholic. There is something charming about it.
Yeah. Like, and I mean, I wasn't causing any hassle or anything.
No.
I just could not be sober at any moment, do you know?
So you were drinking like all the fucking
time. All the time,
But I wouldn't have thought it then. Like, I remember like during the day hanging out with you and you seemed fine, like, do you know what I mean?
No, I probably wasn't then because you were around, like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't, you know, like, that was like,
like, I'd know if you were in too good a mood.
Yeah.
That's like, that would be my first warning sign.
Yeah. Jesus, he's
like,
fucking, jeez, he's baiting into that 7-Up free.
Like, teenage discos then were just fucking mental. Like,
jeez, they were, boy.
Like,
so we used to be drinking at them, that's why they were
But that's what I mean, like, that, like, there was just, that was like, as a social experiment was sick.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember there'd be boys, like, in school, they'd be even, like, they come back in school on Monday, the disco was on the Friday, and you'd ask them, how'd you go on? Great. I shifted 27 women in one night.
That you have that thing as well down in Cork, which is meat.
We used to meat,
It used to be just like shifting. Like, it was just straight in.
Yeah, we're meeting.
Means regularly meet each other,
yeah.
Oh, right.
Meeting basically means that, you know, especially the fellas I was around, is that they will go on and be trying to fly out other women. But if she gets off with someone else, he'll lose the fucking plot and puck the head off your man. That's what meeting is basically.
100%.
I never thought as an Athlone person I'd look down on another culture. Oh, that's brilliant. So, like, there'd be, like, real violence, like...
The amount of times I saw lads puck the head off a fella simply because man did nothing wrong. Like, he just, like, so they break up or whatever. And all your man has done is he's got with a single woman. And your man now has taken, the other fella now is like, no, he sees red and he's pucking the head off of hell in the middle of the pub. Like, one of my buddies, man, he was constantly fighting, man. And it wasn't like, like, how many Saturdays are there a month? 4?
Yeah.
2, any of them, he'd be like, he'd be having to buy a new shirt because he'd be covered in someone's
is
blood.
he one of those boys that goes out for a fight, though?
He had it in him, yeah.
Yeah,
there was a
like, there is some lads that, like, do you know, like, boys want to pull, boys want to get pissed.
Yeah.
There is boys that go out for fights as well.
Yeah. And do you know what the mad thing is? This fella, he would do that any time that when they broke up the ex, he'd be losing the fucking puck at him. He was constantly cheating on her.
It's always those boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolute scumbags.
Yeah.
Like, they're not good people.
Yeah. I know. I remember there was a time, like he really battered this fella. And
they're the type of boys that, like, call Conor McGregor sensei. Just real fucking no morality.
Yeah.
No ethics, but lads.
And like this fella then, like I had to like get him out of the pub. The rest of the boys didn't care, but I was some bit of a, I don't know, some trying to be, and he was just painted in blood, man. And the guards were like coming, like they were up there, and he was there to me. Do you know what, Armboy? Like, I mean, you know, when we broke up, you were the only one who like asked how I was doing. The rest of the boys were saying, "Oh, you're a ram, you're a legend." And I was like, "Look, I know this is a very nice moment. I know you don't get to have these moments with fellas much, but the guards are on the way. Like, we need to go."
Let's hold on to emotion, brother.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 7. Kev was an absolute ball to have you.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Do you watch the Instagram handle?
Lovely, Kev.
Yeah, no one's going to watch this anyway. So you do better show than know us. No, guys, that's great. We'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Be good.
lads. Good luck.